So we're doing a little Oprah style up here with our new chairs. So thank you for being here. Would you like to introduce yourself briefly?
Sure, yeah, I'm Sal Skog, and I'm a journalist, a photojournalist, and that means I like to tell stories in words and pictures. And in the last year and a half, I've been to 5 states, and I've interviewed more than 100 transgender people. And today at noon, I'm going to be sharing those stories with you, the pictures and the stories, and I hope you can all make it. It's going to be incredibly educational, moving, and powerful.
Why do you care about this?
Oh boy, you're going to make me cry. I care a lot. As a journalist, I think a lot of journalists get a bad rap these days with fake news, but I know, because I went to college for journalism, that journalists tend to be idealists and think we can make the world a better place and help educate people. And I care because people are hurting. It's hard to be transgender. Transgender people experience discrimination. They're misunderstood. They get attacked. Their families reject them. And I care. I don't like that. It makes me angry, and I want to do something about it in my own way.
Can you share a little bit about what you've learned over this process of documenting these lives?
Sure. Well, some of these things you already know. I was going to talk about non-binary, and actually I will share that. I didn't understand what non-binary means. It's hard to understand that because we've been so conditioned to think that gender is one or the other, and it's really not. And early on, when I was first starting to learn about transgender people, I read a book by a young man, and he was non-binary, and he had a picture, and he had a beard, but he was wearing a skirt. And I went, oh, the light bulb went on. It helped me a little bit understand. And then a friend of mine had a daughter in middle school, and the daughter wanted to go to camp, but she was very uncomfortable going to camp because she knew that they would put her in the girls' cabin, and she didn't feel comfortable in the girls' cabin, but she didn't belong in the boys' cabin either. And so that helped me really understand. So Louisa eventually changed their name to Breyer and has they, them pronouns, and I get it now. Oh, they don't fit in one or the other. They're kind of both and kind of neither. And the other thing I've learned, what I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see it with my own eyes, but that people reject people they love. They would rather cling to their beliefs than keep a family member in their lives, a friend, a father, a mother, a child, a cousin. They reject these people because they want to hang on to their beliefs and they can't accept the way people are. And it's been astonishing, and I've seen it again and again and again.
That's heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking.
And as a community of faith, it highlights how important our role is. We heard from Gwen earlier about how the congregation saved her life and is part of her journey. And so what you're saying just really brings to the forefront how important it is that there are spiritual homes, spiritual communities where transgender people can be loved and belong just as they are.
It's very important. I've heard a lot of stories about people being rejected because of religion. So it's very important.
Even though we know animals of all kinds are on the spectrum of, why do you think it's so hard for humans to go beyond the binary?
Boy, that's a good question. I think it's just because we've grown up. We're living in the stew of binary. It's what we've been taught. It's what we see. It's what we know. And queer people have really only been out of the closet not that long. I mean, in the 60s, you couldn't work for the federal government if you were gay. You couldn't be a teacher. Gay people were hiding. And really what happened was in the 80s, when AIDS came along, that really changed the course of the LGBTQ cause, because gay people had to come out of the closet. They needed help. They needed each other. They needed the government. And that changed things. Wait, what was the question? Sorry.
Just keep talking.
Well, then they came out of the closet, and people got to know them and learn about them, and now gay people are much more accepted, right? And gay marriage passed, and now it's transgender is kind of the next in line, and people don't understand it. It's hard to understand, and not only that, people don't want to understand. Some people do, for sure, and you're all here, and that's wonderful. But a lot of people don't want to hear it. Nope. I've had a friend reject me because she didn't want her son hearing what I had to say about transgender people. Yeah, we had a long relationship. We'd known each other since our kids were babies. And 10 years later, no, it was even longer than that. 15 years later, she threw me under the bus. She didn't want to be friends anymore. Yep. And I'm not even trans, so it happens.
I'm so sorry. And that kind of confirms what you said earlier about how people would rather cling to a way of thinking than evolve and include.
Yep, that's exactly right. People want to be comfortable in their beliefs. They don't want to change. They don't want to grow. Some people do. Lots of people do. I do. But not everybody does. And that's always really hard for me to understand.
Why do you think it's important for communities of faith like ours to have this conversation and to have a Sunday set aside for this?
Well, it's a place that's, if you're open to learning, that's what people need. We need people to learn, and welcoming me here and presenting these stories helps people change. We need change. Transgender people need people to change. And a church is a great place to start. You have community, you have the audience, you're set up to give information, and it's really important. And trans people need a spiritual community too, where they feel welcomed, because they don't always feel welcomed. And if you need that, it's great that you have that open to them.
Well, I love that you see church as maybe a place to change, because I'm not sure that that's how everyone views faith community, but I know that's definitely a stance that we hold here. And I have a little something for you, which is our comma.
Oh, thank you.
And as Jackie's mentioned, one of our symbols is the comma, because our theological stance is that whatever name we have for the divine, it is changing, still speaking, just like we are evolving with us. So we say, never put a period where God put a comma. So
that's wonderful.
Thank you for that.
Thank you
for helping us in that way. Is there anything else that you'd like us to know that you're not going to share in your presentation later?
No, I think I really hope you stay for the noon presentation, because these stories are unbelievable, so powerful and so meaningful and so important. So I hope you can be here to hear the stories. They're hard. It's not easy. They're very hard, but they're also true. They're true. They're truth. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Sal. We're so glad that you're here with us today. And we're going to take just 2 minutes, and we're going to turn to the people around us and share what's come up for us, knowing that this conversation will go on.
Thank you.
Greetings to you wherever you are watching this. For those of you whom I have yet to meet in person, I'm Reverend Nicola Marsh, pastor here at Community UCC. And we see that people like you are watching our live stream each week. And because of this, we are excited to be embarking upon an experiment. And we need you. If you are engaging with us regularly, finding meaning in what we are about, we would like to extend a special invitation for you to be among the first CUCC digital disciples. For signing up for just $10 a month, you will receive a t-shirt with the new CUCC logo. And we are also exploring the idea of offering other content to those of you who are part of this new and growing area of digital ministry. Sign up to support us in this new way at cuccboulder.org/support by clicking on the yellow donate tab and noting you are a digital disciple in the instructions. Or as always, we welcome an old-fashioned check mailed to us at CUCC, P.O. Box 3646, Boulder, Colorado 80307. Thank you for being and building beloved community with us, and thank you for your gift, whatever it might be.